time, right? We are all starving. But have you had lunch already?
Yeah.
Oh, lucky you. Okay, this is my talk. Starting a mentorship program without any money. That's an issue for us, and you will know why. This is based on a personal experience, and this is what we did in Argentina as part of a program that we started in order to help people get their first job. Yes? Everything starts with this phrase. I think it mostly summarizes what I think whenever I start most projects that I'm working into. I'm working in many open source projects, educational projects. We organize some meetups, and lately we were organizing 2 editions of a mentorship. So we are telling about that. And that's kind of philanthropic, but we make a life by this, right? We connect, and that's the way how we need to improve our community, right? Let's begin. This is me. I'm Lucas Videla. That's how you pronounce it. Zip of code on most social networks. I'm a software engineer. I majored like 10 years ago, but I'm already a university professor for 14 years. This is my 15th. 2 public universities there in Argentina. That's a kind of a challenge for many people. And I have been teaching private courses for more than 10 years for different companies and on-site and for course enterprises. What I like the most is that feeling that you are opening some possibilities for people. You're empowering them in order to reach something that wasn't reachable for them priorly. Yes. So maybe you need to shift your focus to that perspective in order to understand what is the main motivation for me and for us. Yeah. Also, I'm a co-founder of wecode. Wecode is an organization, but it's not a company. We are a network of software freelancers, and we support each other. It started 6 years ago, and we were free, and now we are more than 100 people connected in a Slack chat. We are helping in technical stuff, commercial stuff, legal stuff, and all of the things that happens to us, because together we are more powerful, right? We can at least know what to do when a client is refusing to pay, or if we are getting stiffed or something. We don't have a union for freelancers, and maybe it's better, but we have some supportive groups, right? And that's me. Well, I need to do this, and a special thanks to my 2 personal cheerleaders there. One made it just 30 minutes ago to the conference. Flight's delayed. I don't know if any of you got that problem also. And to my fiancée, hello Islandia, that is making my illustrations. It was hard for us to do that, but we did it. A short disclaimer, this talk is based on our personal experience and your mileage by. You might need to adjust something in order to make it work for your community, your organization, or your local group. Yeah? But take it like a starting step, and you can build over it, right? Well, quick and short survey. Who here codes? Perfect, almost everything. Second, who does remember a remarkable teacher from their childhood or somewhere else? Perfect. Who does remember someone who teaches you a technical skill lately? Almost nobody? No, half of what expected. Okay, so if you see, here is a pattern, right? We remember more the people that connected with us before, when we were forming ourselves, and then we start trying to learn by ourselves, and we don't remember many people teaching us technical stuff, because nowadays we just learn technical stuff by ourselves. We use all the available materials that we have, right? And it's good, but this conversation would be about how to do it the other way. Yeah. And this is the main thesis around my talk. You will see a different perspective about how you can benefit from a mentorship program that could be formal. I mean, driven by the company you are part of, or it might be informal. You can drive it by yourself. Yeah. The introduction is just over. I'm gonna go directly into the stuff. First part is definitions, not so academic definitions, maybe something more relaxed. And then a single recipe for how to make it. 7 steps is single enough, I think. And then some tips that we learned the hard way. You don't need to learn that way also. You just come with the confession. Yeah. But first of all, we need to define what is a mentorship, and that is a symbiotic relationship between people, right? And I say symbiotic, but because it's not unidirectional, it's bidirectional, right? It is better if you, or better like this. Sorry, because do you hear me right? Okay. It's bidirectional. You get benefits on both parties, the mentor and the mentee. The mentor has one benefit that is not always seen, that is that he gets challenged. This is a new challenge that can relive and recall all their past memories and their past knowledge, and see if this is current enough, or if this is necessary to today. Yeah? You might think that your knowledge is set in stone and you are all the time right for your job, but newcomers are giving us some challenge that need to be addressed. And for the newcomers and the mentees, the main motivation is to learn something that is already in the industry, right? But I want to differentiate 2 concepts. Mentorship is not a coaching is not a mentorship, and it's everything right with coaching, and it's necessary. You will still need coach, but mentorship is more about personal bonds. Yeah? You need to make a trustworthy relationship between people. You need to make room for people to connect, and then let them connect. When you speak about coaching, it's mostly technical skills. When you speak about mentorship, it's about the relationship that will be formed after that, right? It's not important if in a coaching, because it lasts like a couple of weeks mostly, and you don't need to personal relate with the other person. Right? You can make it for the moment. In a mentorship, it might last years. I've been involved in many mentorship relationships. Some of them started as coaching sessions, and then a friendship arose, and I could be friends with my mentee, and I became more of a sponsor and helped him, and he brought some challenges, and business appeared, and stuff happened. So it's okay being in a coaching relationship, but this talk is meant to go to mentorship, right? And why should we care? Well, it started when we started learning in history, right? At first, we learned from elderly. They teach us the skills that we needed to be a human being, and then the youngsters were learning them, and it was like generational, right? The elder teaching the youngsters adding their things and teaching the new youngster when they became elders themselves, right? In the Middle Ages, there were no institutionalized education, right? There were no schools, there were just guilds and craft persons. And you could learn from a craft person being the apprentice. Then the craft person would pass the torch to the next generation, teaching you how to do their craft. There were still mentorship relationship because it was a personal bond. You were really knowing each other. And mostly familiar stuff, because there was the family that dedicated all their lives to, I don't know, woodcraft. So that was passed in a family meaning, right? And what happens now? Well, the main thing is that we are not ostracized. We are in silos, and we try to learn by ourselves with the material we already know, and if we need help, we feel ashamed that we need help. It's because we think we are not capable of, and it's not the case. We need to connect with people sometimes in order to get better explanations, because documentation is not always complete, right? No, but no documentation is complete. And you might learn from videos, and that's similar to learn from a person in live, but it's not the same when you need to ask the people in the videos, the person, what are you speaking about? I don't understand. So I think we need to shift our perspective. From here, we are looking at the need to connect as a weakness, and this is not a weakness. This is our major capability. We are social beings. We need to connect. We need to expand our networks. I don't know if any of you have been in the talk previously, on this same room, but she talked about building a community. So building a community is the way that we can reach farther, right? We can go good alone, but we can reach farther better. And one last thing is that mentorship relationships are useful because there are newcomers to all industries, right? Who of you thinks about themselves that are newcomers? I mean, I have spent like 10 years, and I think I'm not so newcomer, but some people, like on the first year, are really suffering from not being part of. They don't understand how they fit, and we can make it easier for them, so that their first year is not a year of pain, but of growth, right? That's their best year, and when they have the most willing to learn, and we are sometimes setting them apart because they don't know enough, right? Okay. The relationship may vary in one of these four stages. It starts as a teacher or tutor, so it's practically teaching about the topic, and that's it. But it can be more profound in order to achieve a sponsorship or advocate the relationship. Yeah, you are pushing the person to go forward, and you are helping him sharing your network, right? That final step is one that we want to achieve with our mentees, but if that is in the third step, it's enough for us. We don't want to be perfect. We can't. Not everybody wants to be in a relationship so profound, right? So whenever you want to stop, you can stop. But all relationships start as teaching something, yeah? Or at least it's how we did it. Another concern for some of us was if it needed to be formal or informal, right? I mean, it has support of the company, or is it done by hand by a subgroup of people, right? The main help that a company can give us is money. The money can help us buy treats, buy drinks, or buy stuff that needs to be used on the mentorship. But also they can lend us some days off in order to plan it, or working hours in order to do the actual mentorship, right? Provide the space. That's a lot of things that a formal mentorship can provide us. But not always we can get an organization to support us. We can look for sponsorship, but it's not always possible. Yeah. So we focused on zero funds mentorship relationships, and that was kind of possible. Spoiler alert: this is not always free. You need to invest time. Yeah, but just time. Okay. I'm about to go into the recipe. And I need to say your image my body. So don't take it as written in stone. You can always change it, right? 7 single steps. I'm gonna dive in every one, so don't worry, don't hustle. You need to focus on 2 main aspects of the mentorship relationship: the external and internal aspect, right? The internals are about the involved parties, and the external is about how is this being seen from the outside. And both interests need to be aligned. You need to do something that is remarkable enough to be seen, and you need to do something that is seen that shows exactly what is done internally, right? Why? Because you need to be transparent in order to make it roll and be able to have a next time, a next mentorship, right? The first step is get a champion. The champion, who is? The champion is the person that is bearing the flag of the mentorship. He will be pushing. He will be pushing for the mentorship. He will be having the strength that other people won't have in the moment that it's needed. Sometimes when you don't have money, you just don't have incentives to do it. So you say, I don't know, I could be doing some other things that are much better than this on Sunday nights than answering a mentee question. But sometimes you need a person that regroups everybody and cheers them up and say, okay, come. For us, it was me at first. The first mentorship, I had to do most tasks and be the flag bearer, but the second one, there were more enthusiastic groups and people support me better, so I had to do less. At first, most classes, for say something, were on me, then there were more other experts. It was nice seeing it roll, but trust me, you need a champion. One person, you can be the champion, but you can find some other person that is willing to be a champion, it's fine. Yeah? To drive it, you don't need to be the champion yourself. Second, how to define a mission. A mission is a single statement that says exactly what are you doing, right? It doesn't need to be simple, it needs to be a single statement, yeah? It can be complex, you will see my examples now. For instance, this. This was our main motivation and our mission. You can print it and put it on a wall for everybody to remember. And it says, to empower newcomers, and that's the target public, yeah, the newcomers. We are trying to welcome people to the industry, helping them finding their first job, yeah. That's what. What are they getting after finishing the mentorship program? How? Because they need to start having an open source portfolio, for instance, because people will look into what code is this person writing. So, this way you can have something public. Also, we help them publish the project that they were building in order to have it live somewhere, in order that people can dig into the specifics of the project. And then a motivation for all the other parties. I mean, what are the mentors getting? What is the champion getting? What is the organization getting, right? In this case, is having fun and gain recognition. Yeah, you end up being the organization that makes those kind of mentorships that are free. For instance, yeah, we are the local organization that makes that. It's kind of a little bit of recognition. Next step, volunteers. What are the volunteers? This is the mentors, yeah? But not always just mentors. There can be assistants that will help the mentors, and there can be a specialist that will help the mentorship program whenever it's needed, right? The mentors are like proficient professionals already being part of the industry, and they might have some experience. They need to be open enough and have the willing to help other people. If this is a very experienced programmer but he's not willing to help, he won't be a good mentor. Yeah? There is a need to connect here. Must be people persons, right? The other thing is that they need to be able to be challenged, right? Not every person is willing to be challenged by a newcomer. Some people will say, what is this person telling me? I know everything from here, he's just a newbie. It's not good. Well, my fellow co-workers at wecode were my mentors. See. For assistance, we have the previous version of the mentorships, mentees. They were mature enough to help other mentees do their first steps, and they were willing to give back because they gained some experience, and they learned a lot by teaching the next generation. It's another kind of symbiotic relationship, more precise, right? And for specialists, you can get other kind of professionals, but keep in your minds that these kind of professionals are not going with the mentorship all the time. They are coming from certain classes, certain encounters. Or maybe they are remote, just remote people. So don't count on them in order to make bounds, right? You need these three kind of persons, but the mentors is the main need, right? When you call for mentees, it's kind of difficult because you need to advertise the mentorship and it doesn't get the buzz that you need, right? So maybe the university boards and maybe some local groups, maybe other meetups. Maybe if you are driving meetups, you can advertise it there. You can post in many social networks, but in any case, you need to be in the place that are the people that you are willing to help. If I am advertising on the high school, they are not the people I want to reach. I need to advertise at university because there is the people that needs to get a job because they need to pay their bills, right? One important thing is that they don't have working experience already because they will get bored, and if they get bored, they will lack of interest, right? I will address that later. And then that is a project, the representation of a project, whose project doesn't look like that. It's an exploding bomb. And this is the most important part, the fifth step. Why is this the most important part? Because this is the one that is giving you the recognition you need, right? If you're making a project that is good enough, it will get recognition by itself, and it will drive some people to get more of that. Also, the mentees will be encouraged to continue working on that. It's a good thing to have a good project. NGOs are a good source of project because they have needs and they usually don't have funds, so you can help each other. We already have three projects. One was for helping make food deliveries. You could make your order with your office co-workers. Imagine asking for a pizza together and defining the toppings, right? You need to go seat by seat asking what do you want, what do you want, what do you want. Well, this is an application that you can share a link from wherever you are. Yeah, you have Slack, I know, but Slack, you always need to count and summarize what is the order itself. It's not useful. This is just one tool that helps us. And it was used by us. It was driven by a precise necessity we have. And it was also used by some other offices that heard about it. It was nice and it helped us get the strength to run our mentorship program. So we contacted a local NGO that needed a preparer's map, a place to put some pins where there were people that were technicians that could repair some stuff. I don't know if you are familiar with our situation, but things in Argentina are not easy to buy, so you need to start repairing stuff, and this is more actual than ever, more current than ever. And the other project was a Class B version of Meetup, a local initiative for self-hosted meetups. Because if you don't have so many meetups, you don't need a tool to complex that, right? All three projects ended with a good source code that you can dig in. I will post in the last slide a link to some sources. And we are very happy with what get built. And let's keep in mind that this is a short project that needs to be achieved in just 1 month. So it's okay. That's a mentorship at a glance, like mentors, mentees, and the project exploding on their faces. Sorry. Okay. And the two last steps are about formalities and scaling, right? You need to define formalities. How are you meeting? When are you meeting? How often? Yeah. in where. You need to meet somewhere if this is a presential mentorship. But if this is remote, you need to set which is the Slack channel you are talking through. What tools are you using? Are you comfortable with the mornings or the afternoons? Who is going to be present on each session, right? For us, it was twice a week with the mentors, at least the ones involved in that particular session, and before lunch. Why before lunch? Because in our society it's good to connect during meals, so you can share the meal if they stay. If they don't want to stay, they can leave, but if they stay, you can share the meal. And if more time is needed, you can go remote, right? So no schedule is compromised. One important part is the toolset you are going to use. For us, it was Trello, Slack, GitHub, and some programming language. And since Trello and Slack are pretty intuitive, they don't need to be explained, but some people might not be familiarized with GitHub and Git, right? So you need to set aside some materials for people that is not familiar with that. You need to send videos, send, I don't know, links, some stuff, some courses. That's good because all people need to start in the same page. And the programming language is another concern because you're familiar with one, but maybe the mentee is not so familiar. But most times the mentee is familiar with some programming language. So we could work around that issue because we asked every other programming tool to say, how do you do this that you can do in your language in Ruby, for instance? And we asked for how is a for loop, how is a, I don't know, a while, how do you count from 1 to 10? Some very easy tasks, but these tasks were driving the research for these topics in the current language that we were willing to use, right? Because we were not learning all kinds of languages. We needed just to focus on one language. And then you need to execute, right? When all these other steps are ready, you need to set a date and start. And this is vital because you need to start sometime. If you wait too much, people will lose interest, right? You need to set a schedule, and that is not stressed enough. And I think the next slide will help. But you need to be sure about what is expected at every step of the mentorship, because that way all people around can see if you are out of schedule, if you are needing more time, or if everything is right. For instance, this was our schedule, right? The first month we focused on tools and little projects, and the second month we focused on building the actual project. Because what? You need to build the knowledge to build the project. So you are layering the knowledge during 2 months. The first month seems enough, but it's not, and the second month seems very little, and it's very you end not doing all the stuff you wanted to do. So be prepared for that. Our stack is Ruby on Rails, some front end, so people needed to know at least Git and Ruby for starters. We had some classes on Bootstrap, some classes on basic HTML and CSS, JavaScript. And then we started the project, right? And how do you do it for free? Now you are spending time, you know that. But there are other kind of motivations. You need to start thinking about non-monetary things as payment methods. You will get recognition, you will get some publicity, but most people will just be right with philanthropy. I'm doing this for other people, and helping other people without waiting anything in exchange is good. And there are some initiatives in some enterprises that corporate social responsibility, that you can leverage on. They have some funds and they need destinations, and you can ask for money. If your organization has money, you can ask them, right? But if you are not part of an organization like us, you don't have money. At least if you need to invest it, it's yours. Useful tips. This is the final part. I don't know how well I'm doing, We learned this the hard way, so you don't need to. You can just see it. The first are the no's. What not to do. First, avoiding defining formalities. If you don't define any formalities, people will think that this is improvised, and they will take it with that seriousness, right? No, I'm not going to attend tomorrow because it's kind of unnecessary. You need to say, okay, this is how are we meeting, this is when, and this is the form, right? Second one, if the plan is not working, just change the plan. Yeah, don't be stubborn. Don't try to finish it by all means, right? Just change the part that is not working. If a mentor is not willing to connect enough, remove that mentor. Ask him to set aside. If a mentee is not engaged enough, ask him why. Why are not you engaging? Is it not what you were expecting? What can we do? Okay, change it. And you can't be very stiff nor very soft, right? If you are too severe, the mentees will get demotivated because they will think that they don't fit the shoes, right? They can't make it. But if you are too soft, the mentors will think you're not taking it seriously. You're not putting the effort that you need. Yeah. So you need to be through the way of the middle. Sometimes stiff, sometimes soft. A possible problem you might have: mentees' lack of interest. Sometimes mentees already know the subject you are explaining, or maybe they already started many projects, and this is not good. They are not learning anything in that moment. The best way to overcome this problem is to ask these mentees to help other mentees. Yeah, you already know that. Okay, help him that doesn't know, and you will see that he will challenge you in some ways that you never expected, right? So, turning a mentee into an assistant for the day, for instance, could be enough to regain the interest. What happens when mentors are demotivated? They might not see the progress on the students, for instance. They might see that no one is making progress. And you can show them. And also you can show them explicitly, like making a list of, well, this person learned this, this, and this. He didn't know this thing, but now he does. Yeah? This other person is not learning so much because already knew some stuff. You need to be explicit sometimes, and the mentors will see, okay, we are working for something. And the other problem is that the scope might be too ambitious. You're aiming to the moon, and you're not hitting the near tree. So you need to reduce the scope. Mostly because all of us overestimate our capabilities, and all of us overestimate the capabilities of the people that is working with us. Yeah? And it's just 1 month for us. Remember that. We set up this at 1 month because it was enough. We could just spend 1 month in the part of building a project, so you need to scope very well. And 3 little hints. First one, celebrate all the small wins. For other people, it might be like a triviality, but for the person that is learning something in that particular moment, it's a big step. They are learning something that they wasn't able to do before. So help them to see that, and to see that you really care about their progress, right? Second, have a clear roadmap. The roadmap is better built backwards. I mean, where do we want to be in 2 months? Where are we now? Okay, how do we need to build in order to achieve that thing? The roadmap is like the schedule without dates. So you need to build that schedule backwards and then set dates for the milestones that you are setting, right? And lastly, give feedback. But give feedback and look for feedback. Because all stakeholders in the mentorship are behaving in some way that might or might not be expected, the one that you are expecting, right? And if you are, for instance, the champion, are you encouraging enough the people to keep working? You need to get that feedback. But also you need to give feedback to the mentees to say them, okay, you are behaving right. Well, this was the phrase I started with. It's just a means to remember that. And this is the conclusion. So you are not alone. You don't need to be the champion yourself. You need to just gather people that share the same interest. And that people will help you set the steps and comply with the recipe that I already told you. Yeah? You can be part of a program that can support you, or it can be just a one-on-one relationship. You can connect with a single person, and that will be a mentorship, a non-money-driven mentorship. You may change a life, and that life can change others, and you can start the chain reaction by just spending some weekends helping somebody, right? The person that learns something and you open some door for them, will remember, and that will come back someday, right? And the best way that we can get something is giving, not expecting anything in return, right? If you want some help setting some mentorship program, and I can help, I can do it gladly for free, of course. We can talk, we can set even a Skype talk, I can do it. I have some time. Well, thank you.
Can you go back one slide here?
Yeah. I have everything here if you want to take a picture. They are not making Q&A, so if you want to talk, I'll be there in a moment. Can I applaud?